who, we're very sorry for those of us who are probably online, and sorry for the inconvenience it may have cost us, probably while we were online. I think it's it all because of the network issues, and I want to say uh, you again are more welcome. You're most welcome. I want to say to those of us who are online, and we are here as a result of the when you sign this, the fact our assignment the the problem of how well things are not, in the perspective in the word. So I don't know your assignment, and we're talking about this assignment, uh, and then we have some interruptions of the sign. But I know that the sign is well. I can see the sound now going. But look at the cross section of some of the things we do in the past, the present. We were doing yesterday in our podcast, in our life. We talk about the the golden rules: do to others as you with which or like them to do to you. In Christian, and even as Muslim or Buddhist, where you find yourself as a religious person, we talk about religious ethics, and it also talk about the principles. Okay, that is your standard set, and how you believe in this standard you set. How do you believe in your own ethic, your code of ethic? So you know, your own for me as a Christian, I think that well, I believe in my God so much. Uh, as a Christian, kingdom citizen, I believe us to do whatever we want. So when we advocate for people, command us to do what Jesus Christ advocate for us. And so we on our side online what we call us as compared to what we want. So you know, things are not the way you expect it sometimes as a Christian or as unbeliever, or you find yourself. But before God, God is so, and God has a plan for every individual. See the different characters of the Bible. You see Jeremiah, you see David, you see Daniel, you see the Hebrew boys, and you see their actions in confirming the God they serve. And you cannot confirm the God you serve to be a different God. God can use any person. You can come. You can, Gideon in Genesis says Gideon came from the least client. He was least in the family, but he was the one God used. So we have found issues of what's going on in the present situation with our country, Nigeria, and other part of the world. When it comes to our community, community engagement is place the environment alone. The community of believers could be a Christian, could be a Muslim, could be a Buddhist. So how can we connect people to people? And how can we promote this whole engagement? Our children across community do that, yes. our solutions that are part of this can do that. With Carford, with most ever want to be part of what we do. About not about Jarvis. And this is the reason why I'm or right there in place part of the 12 o'clock in midst of job work, voluntary work or wherever I am, I'm going to let my voice be heard. The reason God has given us the voice, not an echo. There are people who are an echo. You can be an echo in the sense that you just say something, you just lying to hear some better. You are not bored. So on this assignment, I believe that is driving me to my dream and to in the positive sense go back to Nigeria and see how Nigeria is going through the time of elections and a lot of fraudulent they call events, and it's those events that happen, those are where people can conceive informations that was taken from polling centers or places. This is a different era. When you see your community to be a citizen agent of change, how do you be an agent of change at the same time you are the same person God who might be part of that group or whatever place you find the same person that want to break it down or that want to space all side come back you understand. I don't believe in that. So I believe in patriotism, loyalty, seat, and with more community engagement. It's definitely going to be a different group of people. A different group of people that believe in themselves, that believe in promoting people's rights, as well as being part of what we're doing in order to work together to make a big difference. The difference between you having a community or a community that you want to get involved in is that we have the research information that they may need to discover. So we are looking for experts. We are looking for we are talking about people who are pastors to join us in this campaign. We last year of the close of last year in December, we launched a Synergy campaign against violence. Some of the people you saw might be on the show next week. We have people coming up next. Fight is closing of it's not just closing, but it's as we celebrate this month promoting women's rights. We think that we are under obligation to have awareness all the time. We all gather out of talking about domestic violence, talking about how we can bring the kind of information we need, the popular we need. How can we get together to help this community? How can people begin to join us to feel that this is our obligation? This is what God planned. You are pastors or bishops, what we are on obligations. And I say it here clearly again. When you look at your mandate or the assignment or what, if you have an belief in yourself, With that assignment, they're looking for partners. Two things: our ultimate partner, or partner on the level of commitment in connections of social media, CEOs, and collaborative partner to mitigate or to collaborate in delivering to right words, actions, the right materials. When it comes to the ministry, when it comes to that is the church, when it comes to probably some of the things that we're talking about. Matter of fact, I think it's 2010, around the 2027, 2026, 2029, we are having this thing, this empowerment conference. And the Life Empowerment Center, actually, our we have this hour of empowerment night every Saturday. And as we look at the word empowerment, is not just that word life empowerment. We begin to look at the center of what we think we know, not the one that we don't know. The one that we don't know, somebody else's know. That's what community engagement is all about. That's what our coordinators are. Last, stay commute together. People who we saying we meet, we go to church. I was with my friend and brother, brother Awolde, the church I associate most with. I was with him on Sunday. And I went down to one of our brothers, the guy called KY. I'm not going to be bringing up some of the things back on Facebook. You can see it live. I try to promote businesses that are not only well, but are Liberian, African, and about promoting each other. Right, responsibility goes together. We talk about it yesterday. Women rights is so important. Women are comfortable, but we do like to know that the responsibility. I'm gonna talk about this yesterday when it comes to the golden rules. Do unto others as you want unto you. We are on Facebook. Yes, we are now talking to people. Probably. And if you look back in Nigeria and see energy, it's easy. However, it would have been a different case. And until events at the time, this is a different season in our electoral history, in our politics history, in the church history, every of life. So you shouldn't forget to know that. See, you were not a leader or a president in the nation before those days. This time, as you become a leader for any nation, the leaders, the president, what you gotta be careful with what you do all over the place. The reason is simple. Guy has a phone. A law has a phone. He has the right to you. You don't know him. You don't even know who is filming you and doing. The pastor the other time right there on Facebook, you can see that he was called Rivera Hotel in a place there. Call himself a man that believes he says. I understand that come to our intimacy, but not in the way we do it. The assignment is greater than that. That means events changing. So when you think that you used to hire yourself to do it right, well, you don't have it. God see you. I don't care what you do. Yes, we understand we're for human being as well. There are different implications. So community engagement, what is our responsibility? Some clues, some that community that affect communities, that affect the church. What what are some mothers who with a imam who is in the religious sector, beating people all around the place. So engagement is about constructive information sharing, buttress effort of government for holding government accountable. You see, I was listening to one preacher. He talked about prayer and actions, which is there are people who take action. In other words, send the manna down from heaven to come. It's not going to pay my rent. Well, sometimes it's good that you see people paying your rent. They can pay you for 1 month. They can pay you for even a year. If you found a job, if you have a pastor in a church and they wants to pay me, well, at that 10, I pay with only continue. Okay, but I have to add more on. That's why Paul preached our minister to the church in Philippi. The reason that Paul didn't want to give burden on the church, and that is the reason, and that's why coming up in our Bible going to be starting the current what Paul wrote in second meaning of the letter. What is the center message? Well, how do we understand in the ministry when it comes to on the level of church? Next week again, we are coming up with this this last day of the month of May, celebrating of March, celebrating women's National Women's Day. And the month of March, we are celebrating the women's the day. We want to thank God for all women in the world. Yesterday we talk about holding them accountable for their responsibility to act husband being equal. We're talking about do unto other as you would like to do unto you. I express the fact that some of the women, some of the wife will think, oh, that's my husband. I have all who birthed the husband is that even don't recognize them, don't see that there's a need to love them. There's a need to do the same you're doing for your mother or your parents, for the husband parents. Because you were not there, we talk about that. When they bought them, when they sucked the titty of the mother, and when they brought off, they went to school and they become great person. You just got to meet them. When you saw, you got attracted to us or them. So there be that mutual understanding that, look, I do to your mother the same way like do to my mother or my parents or my family. We are not bounding for every family. We understand that it's not our bound responsibility to do it, but we are on obligations as we should understand and responsibility for our children, immediate family, right? But also obligated to each other. Want to do it for mine, then like do it for others. I think we should have a balance in our relationship with God. When we say we are Christians, or when we say we are religious people. Religious people are different from Christian, because you can are religious, but you really don't believe in Christ. You're a kingdom citizen. So if you look at the situation in Nigeria, I was listening to one of the guys from Liberia, some kind of discuss Liberia. He put on and he had a message there, and I said, well, let pray for Nigeria, and we have not had any president right now. The guy said, well, they're celebrating the president, right? The guy who have won. So, but that was little text, and I just text and I say, we need to pray for wisdom and understanding. when people start understanding clues in election results and some of the things that comes out in different countries and how you study, you have extensive research, understand when there is a fraud, especially when it's something that you see in centers and all over the place with different marks, then you must have a clue. It becomes skeptical for the international community when you have death and other things going on all over the world in your country, wherever you are. It's skeptical, something that is strange. You have the consent of the international community. Why? Because it is the human right of people, of the right holders. It is their right to speak. The duty bearer has the right to apply it, in other words, to make a change, to make a condition change. So when the citizen continue to persist and they continue to cry out to the word, let agree that we have this kind of situation, but people keep crying to international community. It almost like somebody goes in trouble and another group of people say, no, it's not easy for us. We cry to you, please come and help us. And America being a tie to us, we all want to come to help us and see. In the Nigeria situation, that's why we need to pray for the Nigeria. And thank God, the God is opening the eyes of the people. There is no time. There's a different season. There's no time for little bag of rice. There's no time that somebody will buy our future because we have a better future. But that better future determines, or it depends on the citizen of the nation. The word better future depends on us now and the citizen of any nation that have the rights. And we're reflecting on our big brother Nigeria. They feel that their rights were being played on when anybody would stop them in the middle of doing what they did and want to do different thing. They are saying no. Why you think so? Because we're in the different season. Why you think that will be wisdom? Because of the lot of evidence of pictures and videos. That's what the difference between a community situation and a situation in the public where something happens and somebody have taken a video and you didn't know about it. Or you know you are authority, you're on top of everything, but somebody took a very sensitive video that you never knew about. You will be sitting down and they will call you to come investigate somewhere in the world and you don't even know. You see that area. So all of us in the whole world, those who are taking advantage of people, those who are taking advantage because people put them into powers, they forgot. Look, the people that are suffering, the people need help. We need to change society. We can't beat around all the time. Recycle, people tackle and go to the country. They want to be around. And the point we keep saying on the assignment, on this assignment, is about the kingdom of God. It's about promoting the rights of people. Whether it is a church, whether it's a religious church, whether it's a community, wherever they are. And I hinted on something when you're talking about, like give right to this person or what belongs to this person, it belongs to them. Okay, what you don't expect for someone to do to you, don't do it to them. So what happens when a man? I'm a pastor, and I'm proud to be a pastor. I'm proud to be called a child of God. You can confront me, you can judge me in your heart, but I'm proud to be a man of God, and I'm proud to write it on anything on my document anyway. You go to my passport, you see that pastor. Why you think so? That is my assignment. So if I'm organizing anything and somebody want to come to be part of it, they know that I'm a pastor and they want to come, they believe in me, they want to be part of what I'm doing. So I think that anybody in the world today would not want to conceive their religious belief, their acting. Believe in your acting. You believe in what you believe. Why are you hiding it? I see people don't identify with their religious groups because, well, they have their own agendas. You can't do that in a civilized society. All you need to do, look, you to join me in the community. I'm a Christian, Buddhist, or whatever you are. Why you think so? Because you want to do what you believe in, your thoughts. You see, because we have different colors of today. You could be calling yourself Christian, and you somebody doing the different thing on your sleeve, and people got to know you already. So when you are organizing something and somebody gets there and they want to know who you are before they be part of that thing. Because within that thing or that segment where you yourself as a religious group or whatever organization, there are many other clues. There are many other things that happened before you came. So somebody want to know which group you belong to. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Let this thing be clear. It's simple. You can't be. I can't go to a person to vote for me, and I have my religious. No, be very bold. You believe in what you believe in. So you the God you serve. You got to be sure of that. If you go back to Nigeria and see, those guys will come up. They know what they came to believe. They're strong. They believe in what they believe in their God. They still go to elections to win elections. Go to other countries. So be neutral in as advocates. I will tell all advocates, those who believe in what they believe in, who want to advocate for people's rights. If you get involved into politics, then you just don't mix construed or don't put the people under the pretense that you're ready for them, because you deceive us. I'm an advocate, and I don't think that I need to get involved into politics. Not politics, in not career. I'm not in the informal and formal. So if you as a person in the informal and you want to get in the formal politics, then advocating, yeah, you might be an activist, but whatever it is, because we are in the world today, we can be misleading people at the same time. Just announce us, look, I want to take other positions. I want to be in this. I will do this. I am this, and people will support the initiative. I think it's better to do that, and we can make the world a better place. We have a different experience doing on the social media. We talk to people and we engage people. Next week, we're going to be having cross section of different women men on the show most of the time. They stay around and we talk to them. We think we can make ourselves better. It's not about forcing people to be part of this. No, it's about encouraging people to be part of it. It's about motivating people about what we're doing. A transical motivation. We as people who really love what we're doing, by encouraging people, even if we don't have pay from there, we stay are motivated because we know that we are confident of ourselves. And I want to encourage you in the Lord. I want you to understand tonight, and as we talk about these issues, pray for our big brother Nigerians. The Nigerians, I positively concerned about the change they want to see. And I want to applaud all of them. I also want to thank Bill. Bill is the president. Julius Bill is the president of Freetime, and his wife and the entire government for actually confirming into law, writing into law, promotion of women's rights, equal opportunities, that equalities. I want to stand our voice and many other voices to applaud that government. 30% is not a bad thing. Women participate in government. We have that in Liberia. We think the leadership is trying to do the best they can. Other leadership, the Ellen Johnson government and Liberian being, at least being experiencing that women rights. And I think we need to exert more effort to promote women's rights, yes, and also their responsibilities. Some of you guys who are women, who are potential women who God has given the earth, we pray the next prayer. I not prophesied by way of wisdom. Yesterday, I said, and I continue to say, that we need to promote a woman speaker in this election, coming this term. We must pray that God give us a speaker that will be a female, and I believe God that. We can join the prayer time. That's going to be coming up next month. Praying for Liberia, praying for a woman speaker. Check around us in Liberia. You see, let us begin to look at the reality that you can push them one side, or you can say, well, I'm the guy, I'm supposed to be there. We don't. It's about equality. I just want to say all of those of us who are leaders, as we participate in some of the things we're doing, and we participate in doing, no matter what, I think all of us will be going somewhere, making a little contribution to society. The members, but we might have the voice. We might not have the voice, but we might have the influence. We might not have the material of this. As joining with the assessment, promote this problem and other people to go register for, which is one of our obligations. We think that we can also let people to know their rights. Despite the fact that of us have been moving forward and to elect leaders, they have failed many years. Also, I have made those decisions. Reconsider your decision, because you're the one that employing. You are the responsible to employ. When you go to vote, you are employing your men officials. You are employing them. The citizen employ them. That makes important in going to register, because you are the. I want to congratulate all who have done to register to vote in Liberia, and all of us who are having to do it before the end of the month. Is actually expired. Please, because that's all we have. Those of us who are in the diaspora, those of us who are outside Liberia, in America, in London, and probably wherever part of the world you are, ask yourself a question. Yes, I agree. You are citizen of all these countries. Some of us are so proud American citizen or whatever, which is your right. But where did you come from? How did you come here? Just listening, I think that the DV result is coming up. You can see Ethiopia getting 2,900 some vote. I mean, people, candidates have actually won the DV. But you know what? Those people, you knew some of them, they would ever come to America. So America is not a place where people think that they are so closed. Anybody can come here. A boy that you despise, or a girl that way back in the village that you're not even thinking about. Why? Because it's a country that believe in the people, that believe in but making people life to change. That's why we all can thank God, continue to thank God for America. So when you are here, or you are in one of the countries in the world, you might be sitting as, oh, my little guys in Liberia, I don't have time. You'll put not Syria for election or whatever. Ask yourself, who are you? Even somewhere around you see some of the guys here, you don't have to talk about it. So don't even think that because you find yourself in the West or somewhere and you feel that everything is fine. But the guys you are in Liberia, if you see what they are doing there, look at themselves right here in America. The reason is simple, because it's not just about being in the Western country. It's about what are you here for? What are you doing? And then when people ask, our one other guy was 2 years ago. When the other guy was, but you see the guy I'm talking about, you gonna say about this man, you need to come. Let me come there. But there's a guy was saying that Liberia is nothing, man. I don't go. What I'm going to Liberia for. But the reason is simple, because he doesn't have anything to show, so he can't come. When they say to show, it's not money alone. The thing that makes you to be a human being, the love you have for your country, or the response you gave, the way you prepare yourself. And I look at that boy. Actually, he's on this disability. So people talk against their own country as if things are so bad. Why we understand that? And we continue to tell government they got to respond to the society, because if you nationalize people and the right is not, you're going to be held accountable. And that's what make the world to be a different place right now. You can think that you'll go away with it because you empower or because you feel that you can do it. But way in the future, because of technology right now, you don't overlook anything and you don't take advantage of people rights. When people rights is being abused, we need to address it, because if it escalates, if it becomes more, it kind of rampant, and people keep doing it, it becomes a problem, violation, and all over the place. The name of our country or whatever country, well, that seems to be good. When people cry, I was listening to the lady in Nigeria. She was crying, swaying the guy who, the president, the man who is, misleading them. Why these people are swaying people? Why these people are, so hungry? Why this true society will not be the same? Why it is true that everybody will not enjoy? Why it is true that no government is perfect? It is also true that the responsibility of the government is something that has to do with economic change. For those of us who actually went to this training and in economic, culture, and value, the rights, the human right-based approach to development is very crucial. We can never change our world. We don't look in the center of how can we approach those different companies, those different conceptual agreements, those things that are done actually in the community, and the people in that community is not benefited from those things. So the human right-based approach is about those are all our responsibility to engage them. If there is a situation where community dwellers are suffering, going through problems in their own community, but then they have all the resources, and that's why when I talk about the Basel community stuff, the guys didn't know where I was going. They didn't even know probably my assignment. They didn't know it. They thought in their own mind up to now that I was ambitious about something called power. Now, take me from the disconnect me. Look, go back to Rock Church International. They're right here, right in Virginia. Go to them. I got legacy there. Go to all these institutions. The United States Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights just got here. It's just one day I went to training, but I'm talking about training that I went through for years, ministries and institutions. So you must have something inside of you. It's not just and I was talking about the paper that don't you have to speak. Those of us who went to that training in Liberia at the German embassy at the time, 2015. They gave you those certificates, but it doesn't. You can hang it on the wall. I see some people that got certificate on the wall hanging. Oh man, you can see the award, the certificate all over the place. But what have they done? What are they doing with that name that they place on the certificate? So it's not about your education. You went to some of the guys went to good schools. They graduated, but when you see them, even in the West, some of them, you will cry for them. When we're in school in Liberia, some people will call our school. They used to call us in Samuel High School, come let graduate, right? Now, if I can name you most of the guys who graduate from Samuel High School in Liberia, you open your mouth. And they are top people in the government right now. Before this government, they were top. And they're doing well. I'm saying this to say to people who always despise other schools. In our community engagement, we're talking about promoting people's rights. We're talking about promoting institutions. People are living, some of the school are living on past glory. Some of the universities, some of the school, they are living on past glory. People that went to the universities, despite the names, they're not even qualified than people who went just to one of the universities that just opened in Liberia. Why am I saying this? People use institutions' names or a certain class of people to lift themselves up, but they might not be qualified only because of the name of that institution or that family or that place they come from. And people say, oh yes, if somebody leave from America now, whether this person in America was something they're doing different and you don't even know them, by the time they get down in Liberia from the airport, they put the water bottle in their hands, and somebody walking behind with a bag, going all on the street, they're bluffing, and you are following them because, well, they come from America or they come from the West. But you know what they're doing here for them? And we understand the situation in our country where we find that not in our country but in other countries, those low income countries, people use the situation, then they get back home, they say they want to be president, they want to be a leader. And I one of the guy here, I'm not going to call his name, he want to be president. He's I know very well, I know, I don't want to talk about that. Look, when we talk about community engagement, we encourage each other, but let us not look at the face. Even it can be your brother, it can be your sister. Look, if this person say they want to be a senator or representative, just look around what really they have done. What you think all the time they've been sitting somewhere in London or somewhere in the West or somewhere they were just doing something now. They're tired now and they want to come to suppress you in Liberia who have suffered. Let us be careful also. Let us not just be so, and that's why we need to be. I need to open this time when we go to elections. Our community engagement is all about encouraging you to do it, yes, and all about give you some clues about the reality of life. Why you think so? It's not about politics. And that's why we are not interested into politics. We are interested in the people. So anything that will destroy the people, anything that is detrimental to us, we talk about. Let's say it's a right. You don't know what they're even doing in America. You don't even know where they come from. Like the way you see me on Facebook all the time. Yeah, I jump up from here. I come to that. But maybe please vote for me. I want to be represented because you see me. You think that I will be qualified. Why it is true that you might be thinking that way. But I'm saying this to say that coming to America or coming to any country in the West does not make anybody qualified to be anything in your country. What makes them qualify is what they come to do here, what they did, and what prestige. What is their background check? And I think we need to be discussing this and ask even the government of America. And if we can begin to connect these things, it will be very good for us to have some great background check on anybody that come to our country that want to be president or that want to be anything. The reason is simple, because America is an opportunity country. People come here for the green pasture. They come here to do well. America accept them. We come in this country and we have a lot of different opportunities. Some have the opportunity and they don't know how to use it. Some don't have it. They try to struggle. Everybody fighting. This country is big. You don't even know who is who. So my advice, our opposite. Our advice, right and responsibility. Our responsibility is to elect the right people in order to change society. Not anybody that come from any part of the world. Oh, the guy's there from London. He from Spain. He's here walking around. I used to be in like, I know what happened. I know I can see some of the guys here who used to come there. But what are they doing? But they come there and lie to some of you girls, and sometimes you got to do all kind of things, and sometimes they leave children and come, and those children struggle. You women struggle with those children. They even to support them because why? They don't want for the white on the other side to see it. And these are situations we need to talk about. Yes, I agree. Because of economic constraint, people use other people to do that. Our assignment is different. We want to encourage those of us to Liberia. You have that is your country. You have to, we agree. But we don't take advantage of all people because what? Because we don't have. And we the same people who will make us to be nothing, that's the same people come back to us to elect them because that's what will make us to be nothing. They want us to be turning around. We need to think about that. Money, yes, people might give you, well, if for you. Let's think about our country. Let's think about children. Let not allow people to turn our heads around because we love our country. That should be the bottom line. Nigerians love their country. Getting to understand some of the things because of technology. It's not an event, it's a season. So in this season, let us use technology we have. Those of us who are going to school, I can tell people that say, but the guys are learning, but they are not learning us. And hey man, the reason why most of the students are lazy is because they don't have too much to go to sit down at the library like other used to do. You get Google right there and get some of the information you need. That's make them lazy, right? And those of us who are there, you get lazy, but they get busy. Learn from the laptop you have. Learn from the little iPhone you have. Not to Google it to get some programs and some of the things that you're looking at. To look at the cookies and things, and to see people doing all kind of cookies, fighting, playing sports. You got to understand that you have a responsibility as a citizen of your country. Those of us in the West, I want to encourage us. We have great potential, great potential. Women with potential, women with desire to go back home. Probably you just want to go to visit. You just want to go to spend some time with your people. Some of us want to go to stay. Some of us want to, we feel that we are retired. But let's make it a greater thing to do. Those of us who keep popping people on the back when they do wrong. We need to understand that I don't care how you pop people on the back when they do wrong. This era we're in is a different era. In Nigeria, in West Germany, and in Ghana, in Guinea, and all these different countries. In Pakistan, that I talked to the Pakistani, the guys from Pakistan. He always on my show. He's here. He was Sakit was here. You know, he's always on my show, and he might be on Friday. Look at people put people in the center of our discussions. Government, duty bearers, let put people in the center of our discussions. Civil society leaders, those of us who are civil society leaders, but Chiniki, all of us. Which thank God for you guys, Chiniki doing some great work. But all of us have responsibilities to put the people in the center of what we're saying. Some of the guys who work with government, we are your friends, but we are different. We are civil society. So we can we can depend on you, and you can look up to us, because you are there for the government. In other words, and then for the people, but you promote government more than the people. Because why? Because when you commend the people more than government, you might not continue your job, which is not a bad thing because you work for government. But for the civil society, I don't want to hear anybody telling me that they promote government more than the people. It's not possible because you are a group according to your objectives. Buttress government, effort with government to promote people's right, put the people in the center of what you're promoting them for. And let us not just look at the only thing, well, okay, I want to go to that, man, I want to go to that place, man. Oh, man, we can eat or probably let's go to that meeting. It's not about meeting. Let's change the flavor a little bit. It's about community engagement. It's about what's happening. Yes, we can go to those big meetings, which we have to get together to discuss find a solution to some of the things we have to talk about. We need to be trained. We need to build our capacity. But I'm talking in terms of dominantly. We leave those meetings every year, 2 times meeting, 3 times going to those big meetings. But we have all the other rest of the year to have some engagement, okay? And to the international community. Those are different big organizations. If we're really looking at the SDGs, 30, which is 7 years from now, or 6 years and 7 months from now, or 6 years and 4 months from now, we're going to be talking about every child should be in school. We should be talking about gender equalities, should be at least somewhere 80% or somewhere where we can see not totally free, but be regulated. And we can see also crime regulated. We can see electricity, and all over the place in places that I have not reached. So how do we get there 7 years from now? How do we get there? If in my own country, if school fee is skyrocketing, people don't even have the money to send their children to school. The Children Assistance Rescue Mission, we advocate for the right of children to education, good health, and protection. CAFRA, which is Chineke, talk about children in forced labor. But the Sherman talk about children enjoying the right. They have good health. Other institutions that are talking but with the international community, we call on all of us look back in our country to see what are the level of our commitment or connection that we have with the grassroots people as compared to elites in our society. For those of us who are working in that area and are being actually left behind, we are talking about people on the other side of the road, leaving no one behind. With the experience we have, we sat down on the back road many times in some of the civil society groups. We sat down even in our organization, in churches, where we're up the brothers to the lower level. We sat down at the back. We stay watch, and we stay have a mission, an assignment. Despite the suppression, stay free that our assignment was greater than any rank. That means any position, being pastor or head over church or whatever. We kept our focus. Why am I saying this? Because my assignment is greater than anything. Today you can take a position for me. I could be whatever. You say, oh, I don't want you to be this and that. My brother, I put my hand up and gone because why? I have something inside of me that I don't need to worry about your position. And that's why many of us have, either we have died spiritually in the church, or our significance, our importance is not seen. Because people despise us, and we agree for them to despise us. For the women, for those of us who are promoting the rights, we are in relationships, we've been espoused, we tired of being there, we have been abused. Though we stay praying, good to pray, but in our own mind, we think that there will be a change. Pray and think about it. To some of the men, the same thing. Either you remain in the relationship to leave this word, by force, because you have been abused and you are tired, you've been psychologically controlled. But that person who called themselves rich or poor woman, call themselves having sort of bring you down to the level, and they say they call it love. And I want to encourage those of us who are women. Keep loving your husband. Keep loving the one you say you love. Submit yourself. Give yourself the time. You guys can make life. You can change situation in your marriage. But don't get the one thing. If you look back and see many good people who pray, who had gifts inside of them, but no more around here, only because they may have refused to take action about their own life. Community leaders will hold you responsible and let us work together. Church leaders, imams, other religious leaders, there's no way we can change the world. We'll keep fighting each other. If we keep believing we are the best, we want to marginalize others in society. Church leaders, all of us, we can make a big difference, even in our own home, from the home level to the community, to the district, to the county, and to the state, and to the world. I remain resolute and very faithful in my assault, in my approach on this assignment. Those of us who are listening, God bless you, and we can make the world a better place. The children behind there crying for you and I to speak for them. The woman there in pain, crying and labor, a man that is crying and want to release. A community that's been crying for help, and nobody wants to hear their cry. They're waiting for you to speak. What are you waiting for? We can only do it God first. Human word join together to make a better place.